Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my experience of quitting coffee, attempt number like 375, but it's been extremely successful and it's very different this time. It feels different. So I'm gonna kind of share some of what's been going on. That was Danny. I'm gonna share what's been going on with no coffee in my life, why I decided to quit coffee, some of the negative things that I was experiencing while drinking coffee every day. And I'm going to go over the benefits I've been experiencing and a couple of things that I've learned over the last 3 years about coffee. So I decided to quit coffee 1 month ago. Within this 1 month, pretty much all of February, I had two coffees spread out apart, like 2 weeks apart from each other. That's a huge win for me because usually when I quit coffee and then I have another coffee, it immediately triggers me back into my coffee addiction. But this time it didn't, but I wanted to be completely transparent about exactly how long I haven't had coffee for, and I don't want to lie and say I haven't had it for an entire month. I had two coffees, okay? Sue me. But it's all good. I don't want coffee, and I'm here to share with you why. So before I go into why I quit coffee, I want to, go over the reasons why I love coffee so much so you can relate. I know there's a lot of you out there who can relate. So, number one, coffee for me was like that time in the morning when you could just sit by yourself and just take a nice sip of something hot. I loved it. No one could take that away from me. Those times that I shared by myself, such good moments. And then, of course, once my body became dependent on coffee, when I drank the coffee, I got like this huge immediate kick of energy, and it also just like propelled me forward to complete tasks. Coffee's really good if you want to just focus on something. Maybe it's an unbearable task, maybe it's something tedious, repetitive, so coffee would just give me that like sharp focus. It really increased my productivity, sometimes my motivation. After a coffee, you feel like anything's possible. So I did get that, and I have loved coffee for many years. I've been drinking coffee for at least, I'd say like 11, 12 years now, and I'm a 1 cup a day person, but sometimes two or three. And then that's when I would kind of get in the danger zone. But even with 1 cup of coffee a day, I started to realize over the last 2, 3 years that sometimes I don't feel like coffee serves me, and I feel like it has a hold on me, like I have some sort of dependency on a substance. And that's why I've tried to quit coffee so many times, because I just don't like having a dependency on something, whether it's, needing to smoke a cigarette in the morning, which I also had that at some point in my life, needing that cup of coffee. Oh, that one is um, so subtle. It's such a normalized addiction, coffee. It's like junk food. Junk food and coffee, super normalized addictions. Everyone's addicted to it. And it's okay because it's available in stores, it's legal. So I just want to say, like, this video is, I'm not posing any judgment on coffee drinkers, and I'm really going to admit right now that I will probably have another cup of coffee again. I love it, and I do like having coffee with others, with friends. So, you know, with that being said, I still wanted to make this video because it's very valuable information, and I think that whether or not you want to drink coffee, you want to know, the truth behind coffee. The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make. When I had decided that I wanted to quit coffee, it started because I began to experience energy crashes. So when I first started drinking coffee again after an attempt at quitting, I feel good, energetic, kind of this like constant manic state of go, which I don't really like. That's another reason why I wanted to quit. Um, but I started getting energy crashes. I started feeling more tired, more lethargic, more like I was becoming super dependent on coffee, and my whole schedule revolved around coffee. So every morning, coffee, whether it was at home or somewhere else, I needed the coffee, and my whole morning routine and Danny's revolved around coffee. Um, so that was not good. Like, it was fun at first, but then there goes your whole day. And ever since I quit coffee, I have found that my morning schedule has opened up so much. I have the freedom to do so many more things because I'm not revolving on that first sip of coffee. It was very hard to quit at first, and I'd have to say, like, I think I've tried to quit hundreds of times, but this time was the hardest for me. Usually it takes me about 3 days of a pretty intense headache and just feeling kind of tired, a little sleepy. But this time I was like, sleep. I think I slept for 2 or 3 days straight, got up to eat a little bit and just went back to bed. Or if I wasn't sleeping, I was just laying, resting, no energy. And I had like this intense headache all here, 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 everywhere. It was unbearable. I think it was more like a migraine. And I was like, whoa, like, and people would say coffee is not a drug. Like, that was serious, serious withdrawal symptoms. Like, whoa. I was watching actually this video a couple of weeks ago with it was a podcast with Michael Pollan, who I believe is an author. He does a lot of like books on cooking, and then now he's dived into like learning more about plant medicine, um, psychedelics, psilocybin. He's a very interesting man. So I was watching one of his podcasts, and he said something along the lines of, "You don't understand your relationship to coffee until you try to get rid of coffee, to give it up." And when he said that, I was like, that is so true. You know, a lot of people say, just live a little, have a little bit of coffee. And I agree, like, I can totally see that point of view. And I am going to live a little and I am going to have another cup of coffee. But in the meantime, have you ever tried quitting coffee? Try, and then you tell me again that it's not a drug and just to live a little, because those are some serious withdrawal symptoms. So I wrote down some benefits that I've been experiencing. I have way better sleep, just constant. I used to wake up in the morning way before I was even ready to wake up because my body was craving the caffeine. Like, I was like this, but I just wanted my cup of coffee. And I used to do the same thing when I used to smoke cigarettes. I would wake up at 6 a.m. in the middle of a cold -40-degree winter, and I would have my eyes barely open with a cup of black coffee and a cigarette in the freezing cold outside. Like, that's my body craving nicotine and caffeine. It's just like, let's go, feed me, because already the withdrawal symptoms have started when I've gone to bed. So yeah, I'm really happy not to be feeling that anymore. Like I said, I have consistent energy, no more crashes, and that's so important to me, especially because I value so much my health, eating an animal-based diet, feeding my body all of the nutrients that it needs. That when I get energy crashes, I'm like, no, 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 no. This is not supposed to happen to me. I am healthy. This does not happen to healthy people. It's not normal to get randomly tired in the middle of the day after you've just read a book, you know? Another benefit is no more irritability. I'm less irritable. I'm actually quite chill. When I was drinking coffee, I would get a little bit more irritated, a little bit more manic, on edge, snappy, and I don't like that for myself. And I also have learned that I had a huge, huge dependency on coffee, and now I no longer do. And I'm so happy. I think that was the number one thing that I wanted to resolve by giving up coffee and really just showing and proving to myself that I have control over it. And I do, because now if I want a cup of coffee, I can have it. And then I'll go weeks without having it again. And it took so many attempts to get to that point. But when you're ready, you're ready. So I think one really important thing is just to know your relationship with your coffee, know your relationship with coffee. Just, be true to yourself and ask yourself if it's healthy, if um, if it's serving you, and you know best. And I'm gonna say it. You gotta live life, but at the same time, what I would recommend, if you want to drink coffee and you're already prioritizing your health and eating an animal-based diet, prioritizing animal protein and fats, the good quality, I would highly recommend to try to source the best quality coffee as well. I'm going to share with you guys something that I learned quite recently, and it kind of devastated me. It was when I was really sick with my mold infection. If you watched my previous videos, you know that I got sick from mold, black mold. I got sick like internally, but also externally. I had a fungal growth all over my skin. So I started looking into mold. Like I did a deep research investigation, and I found out that most low brand coffees are heavily infected with mold. And I don't think that it's just low brands. I think it's a lot of coffee brands that are infected with mold. I saw one study that showed that 91.7% of green bean coffee beans are contaminated with mold. The good news is, like I said, you could still get your coffee fixed, but you just have to consider a few things. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was quitting coffee, and I kind of talked about the experience I had when I had this coffee that was a mix of beans from all over the world. Like it was a blend, and it was from like Portugal, Africa, and they made the packaging look super, super fancy. But I had that coffee and I got like severe, like physical symptoms of anxiety, like this feeling of nervousness, and I just kind of spent my time breathing it out. But it was wild. So that is an example of very, very cheap moldy coffee. I kid you not, those symptoms were no joke. When they grab beans from all of those different areas, that almost always means that they're going to be contaminated with mold. Um, there's no way to guarantee the quality of the beans from here, from there, from there. They just kind of put it all together, put it in a fancy package, and make you feel like they're doing a good thing. And then something else that I found out is that decaf coffee is almost also more likely to contain more mold than regular coffee because caffeine is antifungal. So when you have decaf, you don't even have those antifungal properties anymore. So what I recommend, and I'm going to put some resources below in the description, is sourcing brands that are certified organic and that do tests for mold. So, and then also you want them to provide those tests and have those tests readily available for customers to view. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I wanted to share with you that I will keep you posted on my coffee journey. I'm going to let you know when I have coffee. Don't worry. This is an open and honest relationship we have going on here. But if you're still drinking coffee, you enjoy that cup. Just try to source a little bit better quality. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, guys, I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Check out these other two videos on the screen. Take care. Thank you so much for your support and for watching.